What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Foundation First Fitness Show. This is episode 58. You're here with Bob Acko, and today we are talking about variety and how to vary up your workouts and whether you really should even be doing that. Now, this topic came up because I was discussing with one of my clients. He was asking me, saying, should I be changing these things up every single week? Should I be changing these workouts out every single workout, or should I be waiting a month? What's the kind of deal? What's the best alternative for it? Realistically speaking, a lot of this really comes down to some of what I spoke about last time, which is your experience level. Now, for someone like me who has this, this kind of career for myself as a strength and conditioning coach, chances are I've spent a lot of time in the weight room. I have a lot of experience in the weight room, working out, understanding the movements, knowing how to do them. For me personally, I could literally just pick anything up, just kind of pick out of an exercise bank and just kind of go. Any exercise, any workout I'm going to peel out of the internet or, out of a magazine very easily will work. All I need to do is just be consistent with it. But for someone like me, what I like to do is I literally like to keep things the same. It's almost like a routine thing. So I'll just come in, do the same exercises, change them up, every 2-3 months, if that, and it's really just kind of built around so that my whole body gets worked out and that's it. I'm really not trying to make crazy gains. I'm not trying to make huge improvements. I'm really just trying to maintain what I have and just kind of stay in shape. For someone who's looking to progress, although, you need something called overload and you need something called progression. These are two of the 7 principles of fitness and working out and training. In the fitness industry, there are 7. I'm not going to talk about the other ones. The other ones are really not that important. Maybe one other one I'll mention in this episode, probably not, but we'll see. No, I will. I think I'll bring it up. But the 2 that I was speaking about, progression and overload, those are the 2 things that are going to govern your ability to become, get better, or get closer to your goals. If you have a goal of, getting a lot bigger, getting a lot more muscular, getting a lot leaner, you're going to need progression. You're going to need overload. What progression means that as your workouts and as your workout plans are going and progressing, you're actually seeing incremental increases in difficulty. When we talk about overload, that's the individual workout itself and the individual exercise. Are you still doing bicep curls with 20 pounds, or are you doing them with 25 pounds now? That's an overload. What we want to do is we want to overload the muscles, overload the body to really start squeezing out more gains and more benefits and more improvement. So you need both of those principles. Those are really two of the more important ones to be able to consistently see results and actually progress and actually get better, get stronger. If you're looking to stay the same, really not relevant. Just keep doing what you're doing. You will be more than fine. So when it comes to variance in workouts and varying up exercises and knowing if you should be doing the same thing or completely changing it at every single time, honestly, one of the things I think that is kind of overlooked is, what I'm going to say now, the specificity. Specificity is another principle. It means how specific is that workout for you. The reason why I say that simply is because a lot of individuals will jump into a workout that is not specifically made for them, and then all the variance in exercises and changing things up doesn't really matter because the program that they're doing at that moment is not helping them. It's not helping them progress. It's not what they should be doing. It's not within their quote-unquote wheelhouse of workouts that they should be doing because it's just kind of designed with no real thought process to it, which is why going on the internet, ripping out a workout, doing an exercise, doing a plan out of there is not always going to be beneficial for you because realistically speaking, every single client I've come in here, yes, to some extent they'll have similar exercises here and there, but there's always something that I need to spend more time working on them with. So if you're a specific type of athlete, I'm going to have to do this. If you're a specific type of individual, I'm going to have to do something completely different. If you've been sitting at a desk all day, I'm going to handle your workout differently than I would handle someone who's a 7-year professional athlete. I'm going to handle them completely differently. Although they will have some similarities, they're going to be very different, which is why I can't peel the professional workout and hand it to the everyday person, but I can go the other way. I can take an easier program, hand it to someone that has more skill. They will still see that progression simply because their body is able to handle it. So whether you should be changing up the workout every single day, honestly, I don't think so. I think that the earlier you are in your workout routine, the longer you should be holding on to those workouts. Because you want to be able to learn from them and actually master those movements, Secondly, your body doesn't really need all that much. If you haven't done this ever, your body really doesn't need all that much to start noticing some change. You're almost going from zero to really starting to change things up, really starting to challenge your body. It's going to respond very early on. So if you can handle and stick to something that's specifically made for you for that 1 month period, you will be more than fine. The most important thing that you're going to have to remember, outside of variations, like realistically speaking, it doesn't really matter whether the program is from the internet or not. I think the most important thing that everyone here that's listening should be paying attention to is consistency. Consistency trumps everything. In the fitness industry, consistency trumps everything. Consistency with your food, consistency with your training, consistency with your recovery, consistency with your sleep. Everything, if maintained consistent, will be able to yield some benefits. Assuming you're being consistent and doing the right things and you're actually trying to you have a plan in place that's going to help you improve, you will see some results. So when it comes to that workout, you don't really need to vary things up all that much. What you need to do is just be consistent at mastering those skills and then very slowly progressing. I think people are trying to ramp up the intensity of the workouts way too quickly and usually end up just kind of running into a roadblock down the road. You really need to spend some time, learn those exercises, and then progress. The next thing I want to say that I think is really important with this is that when you are trying to mix things up or when you are trying to vary up the workouts, usually what ends up happening is that people become almost lost and confused about what they're doing. They kind of lose track of what they've done or what they've been focusing on. And sometimes what will happen is, yes, in our mind, we're like, oh, if we just do a bunch of different things, everything's going to kind of balance out. Usually what ends up happening is we do a bunch of things, but we still kind of favor some things that we really like doing. So what I would say is get an exercise bank. So create an exercise bank. So take a few workouts. If you're probably in the more of the moderate range experience level, take an exercise bank of some of the exercises that you know you can do. You've been doing them for years. You're very good at them, for each different muscle group. So you're going to have some for your legs. You're going to have some for your calves. You're going to have some for your chest, for your back, for your arms, for your core. You're going to have an exercise bank of them all. Once you've got that set up, then you can start almost picking from each of those banks on a weekly basis, and that's going to help you vary things up. It doesn't need to be so elaborate that you're just kind of literally changing the entire workout from day to day, because that's usually what goes on now. Is that a lot of the gyms and a lot of these HIIT training and high intensity classes, what they do is they try to change things up every single day. Realistically, that's okay to some extent, but not everything should be changed. What I usually like doing with a lot of my athletes is spend the first half of the workout focusing on things that we've done for the last section, for the last phase, or for the last kind of time frame. Once we've found that theme that we want to work on, let's say it's strength, I'm going to pick my exercise that I want to focus on in strength. The next half of the workout is going to be something I call accessory work. That's going to be varying up, but that accessory work is always going to be challenging the same thing. So there is variety in the movements and the way I'm challenging something, but the theme and the target and the focus never changes. That stays the same. That's where you're going to be able to see your benefit. So it's almost getting a bit of the two. It's kind of that fine midpoint between them. It's not completely changing everything from one to something completely different, but it's literally just trying to almost understand that there's really different ways you can look at it. It's changing the exercises completely, so the goal and the objective from one workout to the other is completely different, versus yes, the workout is different. Yes, I'm targeting different things. Yes, I'm mixing up some of the exercises, but the theme is just always there. We're always sticking to that same theme. If you can do that, you'll start seeing the results, because you're going to be spending a lot of time teaching your body how to understand that and kind of grow and progress from that. That's where you're going to see the results coming from. So the two things I think you should really leave with today is, one, consistency. Consistency trumps everything. And two, don't be so quick to change your workout. It takes like a good month and a half for a workout to almost become like kind of not yielding any results. Yes, as the workout goes, there's gradually less and less and less improvements, but the upside is still there with you learning how to move and learning how to improve and understand those skills, because you mastering a bench press can lead you to understanding how to do a bench press or a dumbbell bench press that's off the ball or hanging off one side of the bench, and doing having it do it in a stability position. Because you've mastered the basic fundamental of that skill set, you can add the variety, and that's what's going to help spice up your workout. So the bench press is still in there. We're just mixing some things up. That's where the variety should come from once you've mastered the skill itself. So don't be afraid to spend a little bit more time there. What I usually tell people is just like watering a plant. Someone told me this the other week, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I got it. Now I understood. Because literally I was killing every single plant in this place, like literally 5 minutes after we got them. Watering a plant sometimes is like everyone waters a plant too much and they drown the plant. What they don't realize is that oftentimes less is more. So watering them less is more beneficial. Just like this, less variety is better. What I would tell people is spend more time working on that workout. The downside is that you miss off on some progression, but the downside of sprinting through something and changing things up on a daily basis is that your benefits are never going to be there, right? So I'm taking away some of the benefits for that potential benefit that could be there if you happen to hit everything right on the nose and everything goes smoothly. If not, you're going to be missing out on a lot. So highly recommend stick to understanding the basics, work your way from there. Stick to the same program, gradually progress, leave some on the table, you'll be just fine, I promise you. If you guys have any questions about this topic, variety is usually a big one. A lot of people like discussing, when they should be changing up their workouts, how they should be changing it up, and so on. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. Let me know. Reach out to me on social media. I'd love to hear what you guys think. And until the next time, guys, keep building that foundation. Don't forget to subscribe. See you guys next time.